Yeah, I on the recording, so and I'm going to share the screen as well. So meantime, I'll recap the things that we went through last time, right? So we talked about we start the second lesson like some weeks back, and we talked about uh, the components of a computer system, right? So first we get to know what are the characteristics regarding the computer system, and then we jumped into see what are the classification of the computer, like according to the size and according to the technology. We categorize those things, and then after we talk about the functions of a computer system, right? How these inputs, outputs, the storage, memory, CPU is going to work together to perform this process or the execution inside the computer. Then we went discovering and discussing about the physical components of a computer system. So under that, we talk about what are the input devices, right? So under the input devices, we talk about the keyboard, and we talk about the mouse as well, right? As well as we talk about this touch screen, joystick, and light pen. Excuse me. And Excuse me, Daddy. Yeah, right. About those things last time. So like we got to know the keyboard is one of the primary devices that we use, and there are many different pointing devices that we can use, like a mouse is the famous one, and then the touchpad, right, where we can see it on the laptops devices, right? So we really don't need a separate mouse when we are having a laptop, so we can use the touchpad to move the mouse pointer, right? And later we get to know about the touch screen, which is not a very alien thing for you, and the joystick, as well as the light pen. So that was the story uh, until the last week. And today we are going to talk about the other input devices or the other categories. Then we are going to take down the notes, right? All right. So the next category is the imaging device, imagine and video input devices. Now, under that category, first thing that we are talking about is a digital camera. So digital camera is a device that has the ability to capture the both still pictures and the videos. Like we generally say, the digital camera is there to capture the still pictures or the still images, which is not very much compatible, or like which is not uh, having a very good recording technology inside it. Like we can record, but it is not in that quality when it comes to the digital camera, right? So main purpose or the main function is to capture the still images. So once we capture from the still images from the digital camera, we can connect the digital camera to the computer using a data cable, right? And we can transfer the data which we have captured from the digital camera to the computer over the communication line, or like the data cable that we are using, right? So in that purpose, we consider the digital camera is acting as an input device. But if you think about the digital camera itself, digital camera එක ගැන විතරක් අපි හිතුවොත්, digital camera is working as an input and output device, because digital camera has a lens or a collection of lenses to capture the pictures. So where it works as an input device, and as well as it has a screen at the back of it where we can see what we have captured, right? So it is working as an output device at that point. So digital camera alone can be considered as an input output device, right? So there are some of the devices which is working as both input and output devices, right? You will learn regarding one another thing when you go down to the lesson, right? So next one we are talking about is the webcam. Now, we are not using the webcam on this video conference, but generally the video conference happens with a webcam, right? So still we are having a video conference. I'm sharing my screen. You can see the screen. So we are sharing the images and videos. But when we need to talk face to face, like when we need to see the person at the other side, we should have a camera kind of a device to capture ourselves and the other person's self as well. So for that reason, for that purpose, webcam is there, right? So if you consider about the digital the devices like a laptop or a tablet, as well as a mobile phone, you can find the front camera or the webcam at the front of the screen, right? Then when it comes to the tabs and mobile devices, we call it a front camera, and when it comes to the laptop, we call it a webcam. So it does the same thing. It serves the same the same thing for us, right? And again, when it comes to the desktop computers does not include a webcam on their monitor, right? So when we need to have in Upama, I didn't. We are just talking, starting from the imaging devices. So, like if when you take a desktop machine or a like all-in-one and all these things, you don't have a specific webcam which is embedded into the monitor. මේ monitor එකටම high කරලා එන එයා ඇතුළෙම දාලා හදලා එන webcam එකක් අපිට desktop machines වල හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. It's there only mobile devices like laptop, tablet, and the mobile phones and like. So when it comes to the desktop, we need to purchase or we need to have a separate webcam to capture ourselves to the other side, right? So in that case, we have to purchase a separate web camera from the market, right? Like you see it in the monitor on the picture, right? So it can be connected to the computer through a USB cable, right? And most of the webcams are now inbuilt. There is an inbuilt microphone to capture the voice as well. So it's not only the uh, image or the live video that is capturing by the webcam, as well as it has the capability of capturing the sound. But when it comes to capturing the sound, it's not the webcam which capture the sound. There is a small microphone embedded into the webcam. Just a second, මට calling call එකක් එන්නේ. Right. Okay. So thank you for staying. So when it comes to the webcam, we talk about a separate webcam. So when you have the webcam, you can connect it to the computer using a USB cable. So it will come alive with the help of that USB cable. So the current is given through the USB cable. We don't need a separate line to be plugged into a wall socket. right අපිට ලැප් එකෙන්ම හරි නැත්නම් කම්පියුටර් එකෙන්ම හරි තමයි USB cable එක හරහා webcam එකට current එක එන්නේ. So from that it can capture us, right? And again, I told you there is an inbuilt microphone inside it nowadays, like when we are purchasing a modern webcam. So it gives us the both the live image or the live video capturing facility as well as the audio capturing facility. But audio capturing is done by the microphone inside it, not the webcam itself, right? So microphone can be taken as an input device which capture the sound or the audio. Webcam can be taken as an input device which captures the live image or the live video, right? And you know the one below, which is here, like the CCTVs, right? So closed circuit televisions, CCTVs. This is actually serving the security purposes of the people, and it is just a still camera, or like a camera that can fix into a one particular place and can capture a very wide range, right? And even there are CCTVs which has the ability of rotation, right? Like rotating, like it can move like in 360 manner or like 180 degrees manner, right? From right to left and left to right. So where it will be able to capture, like cover more ground using the CCTV, right? As well as there are CCTVs which has an inbuilt sensor where they can locate a moving device or like a moving object, specifically when they have the heat center, the heat sensors, they can like lock into those heat sensors එකෙන්ද මිනිස්සෙක් ආවොත් මිනිස්සයාගේ ඇඟේ උෂ්ණත්වය සාමාන්‍ය පරිසර උෂ්ණත්වයට වඩා වැඩි. ඒතර එයාගේ ඇඟ ඇතුලේ heat එක වැඩි. එහෙම වුණාම කැම් එකට පුළුවන් ඒක sense කරන්න. එහෙම sense කරලා එයා heat sensor heating වැඩි තැනටම lock කරලා බලාගෙන ඉන්නවා. ඒතකොට ඒක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට like when we are serving for security purposes, it will be very much useful. නේද? ඕනම රෑක ඕනම වෙලාවක අපට තියෙන ලයිට් එක ප්‍රමාණවත් නැති වුණත් එයා ගන්නට කැප්චර් කරගන්නවා heat sensors පාවිච්චි කරලා. There is some advanced tech, right? Generally CCTVs are used to like capture the road traffic, maintain the safety and security and all these things at a premises, right? So it is an input device which captures a video, which take the video into it, and that is the devices which are under the imaging and video input devices. So digital camera is the imaging input, and webcam, video, as well as still images can be taken. CCTV, it's a video input. And when it comes to the scanners, it's another category where we use the scanning ability of the devices, right? So very famous scanner is illustrated here at the very first example, like flatbed scanner, right? So flatbed scanner has the ability of taking or like capturing an image once the source is provided to the scanner on the way it shows on your image on the book method පෙන්නලා තියෙන විදිහට, right? So we have to keep that particular page or the picture on the flatbed scanner, and we have to cover it from the outer cover to get rid of the light around the book, right? Otherwise the image will not be captured very finely, like with the 100% quality, right? අපි scan එකේ තියෙන ඔය cover එක open කරලා scan කරොත් first thing is it's not good for health because it is the laser beam that is going from top to bottom and coming again bottom to top, right, to do the scanning thing, right? So you have to cover it. Otherwise, the other thing is you won't be able to see it, like you won't be able to scan the image or the page in a much quality manner. ඕක ඇරලා ස්කෑන් කරනකොට ඔය පොත වටේට පොඩි කියන්නේ අපේ ස්කෑනින් ඉමේජ් එක වටේට පොඩි බ්ලැක් පැච් එකක් හිටිනවා. මොකද ආලෝකය කියන එක කොහෙන් හරි රිංගනවා ඒක ඇතුළට. එහෙම වුණාම ආලෝකය ඇතුළට ගියාම තමයි ස්කෑනින් එක හරි විදිහට සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ නැත්තේ. So that is why we are covering it, right? So as we talked about, this is for scan the still images, right? So yeah, putala tappayak inna. Right. So, and again, there is a limitation when it comes to the scanners. Most of the scanners are made onto the A4 size. A4 size එකක scan එකක් කරගන්න තමයි හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ. Product scanners, right? So, if we need to scan something bigger than the A4, we have to do it partially, right? එහෙම නැත්නම් අපිට A4 වලට වඩා ලොකු size එකක් scan කරන්න පුළුවන් scan එකක් refer කරන්න වෙනවා. But generally, most of the scanners are there to scan in A4 size, right? So unlike the digital camera, the things or like the purpose that it can serve is limited. The A4 size එකකට limit වෙනවා, but still we can increase the quality, and as well as we can scan a document in many different ways using a scanner, where we don't have that benefit when we are taking a picture from a digital camera, right? Okay, so that is the first example regarding the scanner, right? And the second example is the barcode reader. I think you have experienced it already, neither when you visit to a supermarket, like Kiehl's, Food City, even Satosa supermarket, and some other places as well. They use these barcode scanners. Now, barcode scanner is a special kind of a scanner where it only has the ability to scan a barcode. Now, barcode is what? It is something that you can see on your picture, which is figure 2.21. And you have seen these things. At the back of your exercise books, you may find a barcode scanner. Like on all these packeted items that you are buying from the boutiques and supermarkets, they have their own barcode, right? Now, why this barcode is there? We can include some data like price of a particular item, code of a particular item, name of a particular item. Likewise, we can store some details using this barcode. So barcode use these alphanumeric values. Now, alphanumeric value means a value which is mixed. It's a mixture of numbers and characters, right? So barcode will store the data in that manner. And barcode reader has the ability to scan that particular barcode and convert that alphanumeric value into a real data and feed it to the computer, right? So that is what you call a barcode reader, and I think you have already experienced the barcode reader. And if you have not, just visit the nearest supermarket and see what these cashier people are doing all this. They just take the item and like face it to some device which spot some red color lines or dots on your the item that someone is going to purchase. So like that indicates it's referring to the barcode, right? And this MICR, it may be a device where you haven't seen, right? So this MICR is a device, a very small device, like ඔගලන්ගේ exercise book එකකටත් වඩා පොඩි හැබැයි ඝනකම වැඩි ටිකක් උස device එකක්, right? This has the ability of recognizing magnetic ink. That's a special kind of a ink, magnetic ink. So when we have some magnetic inked characters, right? So we can write using a magnetic ink. So when we have those kind of characters, this MICR helps you to recognize those characters, right? So this is majorly used on the check leaves, which is issued by a bank, right? So they can like why the reason why that they use magnetic ink on the check leaves, that they can recognize when they receive a check leaf that it is a genuine one, all right? And it is belongs to this particular bank and the details, right? So those kind of recognitions or readings can be done by the MICR, magnetic ink character reader, right? Let me show you the magnetic ink characters, right? I've taken some references for the last class, and yeah, now these are this නේද ටිකක් අමුතු විදිහට ලියලා තියෙන characters ටික තියෙන්නේ. So those are called the magnetic ink characters. ඒ කියන්නේ යා ලියන නැත්නම් print වෙන විදිහක් තියෙනවා. ඒක මෙහෙමම කියලා අපිට කියන්න බෑ, but in the check leaves they specifically said please do not write or mark below this line. So now this indicates the end of the check. End of the check means the place where we can write, right? And below that the magnetic ink characters are there. So why they are asking you to not to write anything below that line is that the reader will be in trouble sometimes when it is interrupted with some other characters, right? Or if we got a line or something into that area. So that is why they are asking you to keep the magnetic ink characters without having a disturbance from the other characters or the things that we are writing, right? And again, it is having in different manners, right? Like this is also a magnetic ink character reader. So when you feed the check from this particular place, it will goes around and come out from here, right? So the most common type is this, right? So I'm sorry, it's this, right? So this they just input the check leave and it recognize, right? So those kind of machines, this is one another, right, are called the magnetic ink character reader, right? So remember, it can only read the magnetic characters, magnetic ink characters, not anything else. And the next one is a OCR, optical character recognition. Now this is something very advanced than a scanner. Now when we scan a page, like let's take an example, like let's think this textbook, this particular page needs to be scanned into your computer, right? ඔයගලගේ physical book එකෙන් මේ page එක 40th page එක scan කරලා අරගන්න ඕනේ computer එකට. So you have many options, right? So you can use a flatbed scanner to scan this page. අපි පොත flatbed scanner එකට තියලා scan කරනවා. So that scanner will provide a soft copy in the image format, image එකක් විදිහට to the computer. So like we can refer that, but we won't be able to do the editings on that image. It's an image. ඒක editable document එකක් නෙවෙයි, Word වගේ editable document එකක් නෙවෙයි. But when you do the scanning using OCR, it means optical character recognition, that OCR devices have the ability to scan the characters one by one, right? So in other words, when you scan something using an OCR, you are getting a soft copy which is an editable one, right? ඔයාගේ scan කරලා ගන්න copy එක ඔයාට edit කරගන්න පුළුවන්, right? And again, there are devices, there are applications which is doing the OCR. Right now, I'm using an OCR called Adobe Scan. It is an application, right? Even you can have that. From that, we can scan the pages, and it has the ability, like unlike the hardware device, you can do the character recognition in there as well, right? And yeah, people, just a second. Right, okay. So application app එක software එක මේ device එක තරම්ම strong නැහැ. එයා කරන image එකක් බලලා image එක editable විදිහට හදන එක. So අපේ camera එකේ කියන්නේ අපේ device එකේ cam එකේ තියෙන quality එක අනුව එයා characters recognize කරන විදිය vary වෙනවා. Right? But when it comes to the device, something like this, it gives you a very accurate and very quality output when you are doing the scanning through the OCR device, the hardware, right? But still, I use the Adobe Scan for many different purposes, which is serving me to fulfill my need, right? මගේ need එක okay වෙන්න වැඩේ හරියට, right? Right, so that is what we call OCR, optical character recognition. So from that, you can scan a document and you can edit the document, right, using a laptop. And the next one, the one before the last, the OMR, optical mark recognition. So now this is used to scan a mark or to recognize a mark on a sheet. Now you are getting this කොටු කොලය නේද? කොටු කොලයක් හම්බ වෙනවනේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට MCQ mark කරනකොට. Now when it comes to the national level exams, you will be receiving a sheet which has the ability or like which is a specially made sheet to be recognized by a OCR, right? I'm sorry, OMR, right? So you will be given the direction specifically to mark only one answer in a one line, and do not go for two markings, right? And do not erase those, and please mark it inside the circle that is provided in the lines, right? Right? So why are you getting those information or the advisors? Because if you do any of the mistakes, OCR won't be able to read the paper. The OCR can read කරනකොට එක පේලියක හරි වැරද්දක් තිබුණොත් it rejects the sheet, right? So it will be pointless, right? Then we have to do it manually. So that is why you are given that kind of information to mark it as necessary. එතකොට එක පේලියක එක ඉලක්කමක් ගැලපෙන ඉලක්කම mark කරන්න කියලා තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ, right? So OMR has the ability to recognize that particular mark, and we can feed to the OMR like what should be the line or like what should be the correct mark for the specific line. අදාළ line එකට හරියන mark එක කොතනද? පළවෙනි එකද, දෙවෙනි එකද, තුන්වෙනි එකද, හතරවෙනි එකද කියලා අපිට program කරන්න පුළුවන්. So once we program that, when we feed the sheet like it showed in the picture, මේ උඩින් feed කරාම එයා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් තප්පර 2-3ක් ඇතුළත මේක ටක් ගාලා read කරලා ප්‍රශ්න 50ක් තියෙනවා නම් 50න් කීයද කියලා it will be given the output, right? And remember, it's just scanning for marks, optical mark recognition, right? And the very last one of the scanners is the actually this particular heading is not good. It's not the ATM that we are talking about. It's the card reader that we are talking about, right? The debit and credit card readers, right? So you can see the card readers not only in the ATMs, but you can see it on the supermarkets and all these places where we do the payments. They just take the card of your parents and they just swipe it. නේද? ඒගොල්ලෝ swipe කරනවා card reader එකක් පෙන්නනවා අපිට card readers ගොඩක් ඔයගලන්ට දකින්න පුළුවන් මාකට් එකේ. Right? See, there are many different, I'm sorry, not this kind of card readers, right? Let me see, this is something else. Storage read කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒවා. So this is called the magnetic card readers. Like I think you have seen this device. Neither in the supermarkets, when you are given the card, they are going to swipe it, right? And there are different kinds of card readers like this, right? And this is one another, right? So what actually happens is this particular card is having this black line, which we call the magnetic stripe. It contains the data. So that stripe is going through the card reader. So once that stripe passes the card reader has the ability to read the details or the information included in that magnetic stripe, right? So the same thing happens when we are interacting with an ATM. අපි card එක input කරනවා කියන්නේ අපි input කරන්නේ card reader එකක් ඇතුළට, but we can't see that, right? So it just take in and read, and it will check the pin that we have given to that particular card is correct. Is it a matching one? So it allows us to do the transactions, right? So then we can do the transaction whatever we need from the ATM with the provided things, right? So then it reads the information. So it is taking the input to the computer and showing us the output. Okay, it is a genuine card. It's your card, so you know the PIN number. So your given PIN number is correct. Then how does that particular machine needs to get like move forward, like how to proceed, right? Then you can choose the options and do your transaction, right? So මෙතනදී ඔයගොල්ලෝ concentrate කරගන්න ඕනේ. It is the card reader that we use to read debit and credit cards, right? So it read the details in the magnetic stripe and feed it to a computer or the computer system, right? Again, in a way of scanning, in a type of scanning. And that is the categories of the scanners, right? And the last category is the microphone, which we use to take sound input or the audio input into a computer, right? So microphone is the only thing that provide that facility for you to input your sound or input something else's sound into the computer, right? So we learn about 5 categories. Keyboard, those are character inputs, then pointing devices, and then imaging and video devices, scanning devices, and the microphones, right? හරි අපි ටිකක් වෙලා කතා කරා මට confirm කරන්න කියපු දේවල් ටික clearද කියලා, right? Let me have the confirmation. Yes, is that clear? Do you got any problems or like any questions regarding this? Right, great. Okay, so let's start making the notes, right? So yeah, it goes like this. Have the main heading, basic physical component of a computer system, and under that you may have the subheading called input devices, right? right? So after the input devices, you may have a Roman number 1 or Arabian number 1. That doesn't matter. Put the keyboard. That is the first category under the input. Yeah, people, I'm sorry. Before that first category, it's better you copy this down, this particular sentence. Actually, the very first one only, which ends from here. Basic physical component of a computer system. Components of a computer system is the main heading. Input devices is the subheading. And under that, data and instructions are fed to the computer system using input devices. Right, so if you are done, okay, so you are going to go with the first category. So you can have Roman numbers or the Arabian ones or the capital A, B, and C. Likewise, you can have, right? So number 1, the first category, keyboard, right? And it's better you copy this down. This is the most common input device, right? And after that, this particular, onto this particular place. So the very first line of the first paragraph, this is the most common input device. Then the starting from normally keyboards until are given below things. Right, so like after the given below, you don't need to draw the keyboard, but you have to write these types of keys. function keys, numeric keys, control keys, special keys, typing keys, right? And in front of each and every category, you have to give some examples, right? Like function keys, put a dash and say F1, comma F2, F3, for until F12, right? And numeric keys, the numbers from 0 to 9, right? So those are, indicate those as the examples. Control keys, like CTRL key, ALT key, shift, not the shift, and this insert, delete, those kind of things. And for special keys, shift key, caps lock key, tab key, those kind of things, right? So write some examples with the categories. Right, people, are we done? How about the situation? Just let me know when you are done, right? Right, one is done. How about the others? දැන් ඕගොල්ලොන්ට මේ මොමන්ට් එකේම කරන්න පුළුවන් දෙයක් තමයි. කියන්නේ මේ වෙලාවේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ කම්පියුටර් එක ඉස්සරහ නෙවෙයි නම් ඉන්නේ මම කියන දේ කරන්න බෑ. But you can go and seek for these things. මොනවාද function keys කියන්නේ මොන ටිකටද, right? Numeric keys කිව්වම මොනවද අයිති වෙන්නේ? So just seek it, right? So this is a practical subject. So you have to interact with this, right? Okay, so yeah, moving to the next part. So the second category, the first category is the keyboard. The second category is the pointing devices. So put big number 2. So the pointing devices, according to under that, you can take simple A to tell about the mouse. So simple A, mouse, under the second category. So the first subcategory, named with simple A, it is the mouse, right? So under the mouse, you don't need to write anything, but you have to draw this with left button, with the wheel, with the right button. So we know left button is used. We talked about it last time, right? Left button is to do the single click, double click, and a triple click. And wheel is there to do the scrolling part. And right mouse button is to have the right click, right? So just have this. මේ වගේම වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ පින්තූරේ. I need you to like name it like මේ කොටස් තුන තියෙනවා කියලා. mouse එක ඇඳලා පෙන්නන්න ඕනේ. So quickly, right? Under the pointing devices, simple A, mouse, right? And draw the figure 2.12. Yes. සුදම් කරන්න තියෙන පුතේ මෙතන pointing devices කියන එක ලියා ගන්න. ඒක දෙවෙනි කැටගරි එක. ඒක යටතේ A කියලා simple A කියලා දාලා mouse කියලා ලියා ගන්න. ඒතර දෙවෙනි කැටගරි එක යටතේ simple A පළවෙනි sub category එක mouse. ඊළඟට මේ figure එක ඇඳ ගන්න තියෙනවා. No, Risara, we don't need to draw the touchpad, right? So if you are done with the mouse, we can move forward, people. How about the others? Are we done with the mouse? Okay, 1 is done, 2 is done. How about others? All right. All right, let's move forward. The B, simple B, is the touch screen, right? You don't need to. Yeah, there is one fact that you need to write. Let me see. Yeah, and you better write this one sentence, single sentence. This is an input and output device in the modern computers and mobile phones, like touch screen, like we like the digital cam. This is another device which worked as an input as well as the output, right? Because when we see something from it, when we watch something over it, it is an output device. It is outputting the video for us. And when we touch it to execute some app or to give some command or whatever the things, it's acting as an input device. So it is a both input and output device, right? So simple B, touch screen, and you may write this highlighted part. Yes, Sudham. Like computers කියලා අපි එකයි refer කරන්නේ. Can a touch sensitive screens? Now it is very famous thing, right? Laptops are having that. All-in-one computers are having that. Even there are some desktops which has the touch screen. Like you know, like there are TVs having the touch screen facility, right? So why not a desktop or why not a monitor, right? And as the next example, put simple C and write the joystick, right? That's all. You are not going to write anything about it, right? We all know what a joystick is, right? So simple B is touch screen, simple C is joystick. And yeah, and simple as a simple D, you have to write the light pen. So first finish those things. Then let me have the confirmation that you finished it. Then I'll tell you what to be written. Okay, are we done, people? Can we move forward? All right, one is done. Oh, Ranuja, disconnect kunani dute. So, අපි කිව්වේ touch screen එක ගැන ලියාගත්තා. It's the simple B that we were talking about. And we copy the very first line as well. And then simple C, joystick. Right, so I'm moving to the simple E, the light pen, right? So this is simple E. I'm sorry, it's D, right? Yeah, it's simple D, light pen. And under the light pen, yeah, you can copy this particular line. Right. So after the part D, the light pen, put simple E and write the touchpad. We couldn't mention it with the mouse, but it is another input pointing device, which is the touchpad. So it is the simple E part එක තමයි touchpad එක කියලා ලියාගන්න, right? That is for laptop devices. Right. So after the light pen, you have to write the simple E, which is called the touchpad, right? Right, are we done? Right, people, are we done? Can we move? Right. So I hope you have written the simple E as well as the touchpad. Touchpad කියලා simple E point එක දාගන්න. So we are going to the third category, right? Imaging and video input devices, right? So that is the third category. So under that, simple A, digital camera. We are not going to write anything under it. It's just digital camera. And the simple B, webcam. Simple A, digital camera. Simple B, webcam. And for webcam, you better copy this line. Right, are we done? And the C part, or the C, simple C, the third example, closed circuit TV, and you may write the very first line of it for CCTV. Yeah, I know people, it's like a lot of writing today, right? But can't help, we have to get these things into our books, right? Right, are we done, people? Lamai, can I have the confirmation, like whether you are done with the CCTV stuff? Okay, right, okay. Right, so moving to the fourth category, scanners, right? So on that, simple A is the flat bed scanner, right? Yeah, and you have to copy this sentence under the flat bed scanner. Right. So I'm going to move forward. The second scanner, barcode reader, simple B. Yeah, in there you have to copy this. Yeah, from here to here. Yeah, Chamat, in example one, flatbed scanner, we copy this particular thing. Right there, like the second sentence of your textbook. Right, so in the second one, barcode reader, it's the last sentence that you need to copy. Right, so one is done. And regarding the magnetic ink character reader, I can highlight things from here. So still the people who are writing the barcode reader, so you can proceed. So the simple C, magnetic ink character reader. Yeah, you can copy this. This device reads numbers printed at the bottom of check. Yeah, it's better you continue up to this point. සුදම් ඇල්ෆනියුමරික් කියලා කියන්නේ ඉලක්කං අකුරු දෙකම කවලං වෙලා හැදෙන ස්ට්‍රිං එකකට නැත්තං වචන සෙට් එකකට right තට ඒක කෝඩ් සිස්ටම් වල භාවිතා වෙනවා කම්පියුටර් එකට data input කරනකොටත් input කරන මොඩ් එකක් ඒක Right. Are we done? Magnetic ink character reader එක ගැන ලියාගෙන ඉවරද? Right, okay. ලියන්නකො හිමීට. Right. So moving forward, optical character recognition, OCR. Yeah. So the very first sentence. Right. So, yeah, there are a few more sentences to write, people. So let's complete it and go. Just wait for another 5 minutes, right? I will run through those, right? And regarding optical mark recognition, OMR devices, yeah, so that the first sentences can be written regarding the OMR. Okay. How about the optical mark recognition? Are you done with it? Okay, so moving from OMR to the don't write automated teller machine. Instead of it, just write debit or credit card readers. Debit or credit card readers. The sixth example. Actually, it's going to be like A, B, C, D, E, F. The simple F is going with the debit or credit card readers. And you can copy this particular thing. And regarding microphone, you have to copy the entire sentence, the only sentence. It's the fifth category, so don't mix it with the scanners. So debit and credit card readers will be the final subcategory of the scanners. Microphone is a new category. Magnetic card reader, Chamat, yes, you can, but since they are talking about debit and credit card specifically in here, that's why I use the debit or credit card, right? And it doesn't matter. Magnetic card, yeah, you can address it as the common word, Buddha. Right, so yeah, regarding the debit and credit card readers, you have to write the highlighted part, and regarding the microphone, write the only sentence over there. And if you are done writing, you can disconnect for today. So, right, we are going to, next week I'm going to show you what is the structure of a hard disk, right? We are going to see a nice video regarding that by next week. Today we had done a lot of writing, right? So thank you for staying. Like you were staying like more than 5 minutes. So I'll meet you on next week, right, for the same time. And let's hope we are going to meet physically very soon, right? Until then, have a nice weekend, not the weekend, like have a nice day and have a good sleep. People, thank you very much. Okay, so I will be here until everyone leaves. So if someone is writing, just finish your writing and go, right? Okay, good night, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dua. right. Meeting එකේ ඉන්න තුන්දෙනා තාම ලියනවද නැත්නම් මට meeting එක end කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right, okay. Right, I hope everyone is done. So I'm going to end the session, right? Thank you very much.